Week 15 waiver wire. Let's get it started. Do you have questions at quarterback? Don't worry, I got you. Matthew Stafford versus the 49ers. He's had 2 or more touchdowns in the last 4 games, and this is another must win. Look for him to try to ball out. Jameis Winston could always pop off or bust. This one's risky, but Jameis is always kind of risky. Start at your own risk. I haven't suggested this man all year. Aaron Rodgers gets to go up against the Jacksonville Jaguars, who objectively suck. Aaron should be pretty solid. Are you having a rough time at running back? Don't worry, I got you. Sincere McCormick, he had 15 carries last week, plus he's slightly involved in the passing game. That's not bad, assuming he's going to be by himself in this backfield. Once the other running backs start coming back, I'm a little less excited. Isaac Guerendo's status is still up in the air. He may or may not play. He's got a foot injury. I ain't gonna lie, I'm personally kind of nervous, especially because I just traded a 2nd-round pick for him in my Dynasty League. But his backups will be Patrick Taylor, who's been on the team for a little bit, and he's okay, I guess. Israel Benaconda, who just got to the team, but I think he's pretty quick, which may fit him better in this offense, but who knows how involved he gets. And Keyshawn Vaughn, who, to be honest with you, didn't even know he was on the roster. Speaking of injuries, Breece Hall says healthy, but who knows if he plays? If he sits, Braylon Allen is the obvious go-to, but he's probably rostered in most of your leagues. If you're desperate for a running back, Isaiah Davis might actually be out there. He had 10 carries and 6 targets? Yeah, you might actually want to have him on a roster. Kid was getting some work. Other running backs to look out for, Tank Bigsby, who had 18 carries, Jaleel McLaughlin, who had 14 carries the last time he played, and Kendre Miller, who's taken over the number 2 spot. Are you weak at wide receiver? Don't worry, I got you. Adam Thielen, back-to-back games with 10 or more targets. Homie's sitting around 100 yards a game. He's a fantastic start at this point. Some other flyers would include Jaylen McMillan, who had 2 touchdowns, Quentin Johnson, who's a roll of the dice. Ray McLeod had 11 targets last week, and I'm personally stashing Cedric Tillman. I just think he has a lot of upside. So when he does play, I think he's going to be good. Are you having a tough time at tight end? Don't worry, I got you. Hunter Henry's back from the bye. He's had 8 or more targets 4 out of the last 5 games. Pat Freiermuth, who's had a touchdown in back-to-back games. Also, if I would have started him this week, I would have won 2 of my matchups. Zach Ertz, who's had a touchdown in 3 straight games, excluding the bye, obviously. I also like Noah Gray and Michael Mayer, who got a surprising amount of targets. That'll happen when the backup quarterback's in, throwing to the backup tight end. Are you desperate for a defense? Don't worry, I got you. Washington Commanders going up against the Saints without Derek Carr. Saints were already not great. Now they don't have Derek Carr. That backup is not good. Chiefs are heavily rostered, but still worth a check. Going up against the Browns, and you know the Browns like to turn it over. Another one you should check on, the New York Jets going up against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Mac Jones ain't it. And the Atlanta Falcons aren't a good defense, but they have back-to-back good games, and they're definitely out there. Going up against the Raiders this week and the Giants next week. I don't like the Falcons as a defense. I don't think the Falcons are particularly good defense, but these matchups are great, so if you're desperate, you can do worse.